20 out of 100. Feels like I've been doing this forever, but it's only been 20 days. I've been noticing that lately it's been harder and harder to think of video topics. I think I said this before, but it's hard to constantly think of kind of important or like hard to talk on topics every day. Maybe like slightly fatiguing, I guess, mentally. Or it's just like, I mean, it may not be fatiguing. Like, it's not like I don't think I'm getting tired talking about this stuff, but I think I've just been like clearing my mind of a lot of thoughts lately, and there just aren't so many topics that are important to me that I haven't touched on yet. But today, what I wanted to talk about was like stress, because I've been in this interesting position where for the last 3-4 years, for the last like year and a half in particular, I've been incredibly stressed because I feel like I haven't had enough to do, and that led to me feeling very I just got stressed because I felt like a bum. And I was a bum at some points. I just gamed and chilled and slept late and woke up late, and I was just like rotting away for a lot of days. And that really bothered me because I wasn't comfortable, well, I wasn't like happy with myself for spending my time in that way. But I also just couldn't get myself to do anything else because like I had the time and freedom to live my life like that. But there was no part of me that was proud of that. And also like all the relaxing and gaming and having fun just stopped feeling like fun, and it just started to feel like what it was, which was just me distracting myself from what I really had to do and what I really had to take care of. And so yeah, I was really stressed during this time because I didn't have enough like immediate work that I had to get done, and so it was just really easy to slack off and just be lazy. And the stress came from like the shame from not doing work and not spending time bettering myself, and also just guilt about just spending my precious time doing what seemingly was completely unproductive. So now I can kind of look back and see it as a time, like a necessary time I needed to spend to know that I want to be doing things, that I don't want to just be gaming all day and eating fast food and watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. But now I'm stressed because I have a lot of stuff to do. Like I like can't keep track of everything because there's so much shit to do. And I like can't, when I wake up, I can't go back to sleep because of the fact that I feel like I should be doing something because I have so much shit to do. And I keep forgetting like little details in my social life, and I keep feeling like I'm forgetting certain like meetings or plans or certain tasks or responding to certain emails because there's just so much stuff and I just haven't spent the time to really organize it all. I'm sure if I organized it all, it would be easier, and I'm sure organizing it wouldn't even be that difficult. But since I feel so overwhelmed by everything, I'm just afraid to even sit down to try to organize it because I'm afraid to just see the list of shit that I have to do. But it's really funny because this is what I've been wanting for the last year and a half. And not having this has been like chipping away at my like sense of self and just making me feel like I wasn't allowed to enjoy life because I hadn't been doing the work to deserve to have fun. And now here I am with all this work, and I pretty much feel the same way, except in like a more productive sense. Which, like, I still prefer this over the latter or the former situation. I just need to get used to this volume of work. But I mean, that's just like a interesting. It's interesting that like there's good stress and bad stress. Because just objectively, stress seems bad. But some stress is purposeless and some stress contains a lot of purpose. And just thinking about it right now, like, maybe they're not so different really. maybe I shouldn't feel grateful for this stress. But I do right now. Because stress from feeling like you don't have purpose, or feeling like I didn't have purpose, really sucked. It was a bad cycle. Like I would be stressed about not having enough stuff to do, not enough like meaningful stuff to do. And I would feel ashamed and guilty because I wasn't doing enough meaningful work. And to distract myself from feeling that way, I would get some form of inebriated and just constantly have like some kind of content on to distract myself from thinking. I would always be gaming. I would, if I wasn't gaming or doing any of that, I would be eating. Like the only productive thing that I was consistently doing during that time was just exercising. But even that was like a form of a distraction. Granted, it was a healthy distraction. And then at some points, I would have like a burst of just, I have a bunch of work to do, and I would do it. I'd feel really good about myself. And I would think, oh, like, this is it. This is where like the tides shift, and I start being productive, and I start spending my time in more ways than I'm proud. And then within like a few days sometimes, or a week or 2 weeks, I would just be back at the exact same place that I was at, because I would let myself get comfortable thinking that I was going to be okay now. I was going to spend my time better. But yeah, I would just end up right back to being in this like distracting mode. Yeah, that cycle sucked. And, maybe there's gonna be a cycle with this like productive stress that I'm having. Maybe I just feel grateful for it right now, and then, at some point I just start to get sick of it and worn out and tired, and then maybe I'll have like a burst of like finding like fulfillment and purpose in my work again, and then I'll ride that for a little bit, and then go back to this just like tired, overwhelmed, kind of like scatterbrained state. I think think I may also just be viewing it from a more negative lens because I am just tired right now. And tired and stressed about the work that I have to do. It's hard to be optimistic when you're feeling this way. I guess we'll see. This is still a pretty new feeling for me. And it's only just getting started. And the more I do it, I may just find that I don't need to be that stressed about it at all. And it's not as like I don't need to apply so much pressure on myself to be able to do this work. Whether I pressure myself or not, it's still gonna get done. And there's probably a better mindset or a mentality to approach this work with. But I think I just need like a few straight days of good sleep. Which is something that I maybe slightly took for granted while I was in my bum phase. Actually, yeah, now that I'm talking about this, I remember when I was starting to get busy last month. Like I was getting like 4 hours of sleep a night and just working all day for like a week or two straight. And I was so tired, but I was so happy to be so tired because before then I was just in this like guilty bum mode, and finally having work and finally feeling like exhausted just felt so like since I could just like turn off all the voices in my head that were just like, what are you doing? Like just, so you're not doing anything. Like since I could just turn that off and just like work, I just felt so at peace then, and it didn't matter that my body was tired. I was just grateful to have something to do. But yeah, now that it's been a month, all the noise has been replaced with like all the voices that were like talking down to me just turned into voices saying like, did you remember to send this email? Did you remember to check this thing? Did you remember to reach out to this person? Did you remember to get the documents for this? Blah, blah, blah. Like it's just like all that right now. Maybe I'm starting to just repeat myself at this point. I feel like I tend to do that. I tend to repeat myself when I'm trying to explain something because I think that I didn't explain it well enough to be understood with the message that I want to be interpreted from it. And so I'll try to re-explain it. And then sometimes I'll feel the same way and start repeating myself again to try to re-explain it again. And then I start to feel a little self-conscious about that. But that just comes from wanting to be like understood. I feel like I've been getting better with explaining myself since I've been doing these videos, which I'm really happy about. But yeah, I still find myself repeating myself in the same conversation. So I just want to be able to explain what I want to say in one go more often. Hopefully my point was understood, or came across, came through. Though after saying that, I'm not sure what my point was. I think I guess the point was I just wanted to talk about it. Talk about the way I've been feeling about stress lately. So yeah. Thank you for watching.